Hello, good afternoon. My essay number 2 is the why it is said every student should be entitled to airtime in the classroom, and how I will utilize this, how I understand and how I can use this method to improve my teaching. So first of all, by searching online, I found force field analysis means it is a very useful decision-making technique, and it can help us to make a decision by analyzing the forces for or against a change, and it will help us during the teaching to communicate more effectively about the reasoning behind the decisions. So first of all, who am I? I'm a researcher, a scientific researcher. So my experience on learning as a student is about 18 years, which is much longer than my experience in teaching. So my major teaching activities include teaching master students and PhD candidates on their research project in biochemistry. And recently I got another opportunity to do scientific teaching for 5th grade students, which I feel very interesting. And it should be a new aspect in my teaching experience. So I will prepare my essay based on my new teaching project. That is a Society Science Day demo in this March. It's coming soon in 2 weeks. And my proposed project for the 5th graders ag osmosis. So from learning in our course, we learned that there are very important several criteria for learning activities, including modality, and it has to be comprehensive, has to be suitable for the students in the classroom, and it got to be in a very interesting or unique pattern so that you can draw attention to the students. Also, you should have a level of significance, variety, and it got to be relevant to what you want to teach and what you want your students to grasp. So in my demo classes, I plan to focus on these 3 aspects that are patterning, relevance, and variety. So actually I feel, personally I feel relevance and variety is kind of hard to balance. Before the Science Day class demo, I will probably use a question to start. I will ask the students what's their understanding about osmosis, chemical osmosis. What is the observation if you put an egg in a salt water or in a cup of fresh water without any salt or any other ions? And later I will show them a clay movie so that they will get better understanding about osmosis, what will happen when the molecules come across semi-permeate biomembranes. Basically that's the egg membrane. And by doing this, I will also have a better understanding about students' knowledge on chemistry and what's their personalities. Are they more open, more talky, or quiet and shy? So that later I will grasp better during the experiment. So during the class, I will pair them up. Every 2 students will pair up, and they have their own 2 eggs. One will be put in hypoosmotic solution, the other will be put in hyperosmotic solution, and after a certain time, I will let them to weigh the eggs. So they will say the different weights when the eggs are in different types of solution in terms of the different osmolality. And lastly, I will ask them to make a record on a piece of paper about their 2 eggs. So one should be lighter in hyperosmotic solution. The other one should be heavier than the original weight, since the water get into the egg due to a hypoosmotic solution. So during this time, I will also ask them what do they think is the best way to record the numbers? For example, how many digits, and how do you think it's accurate enough to describe the eggs, and what's different in percentile when you compare the 2 eggs, and also what's the scientific number format should be, etc. So I think based on the unique features of my demo, which is experiment demo, chemistry laboratory class, from the beginning to the last, I will involve the students as much as possible by asking them questions or reminding them their previous experience when they are in the everyday life. What's the observation? For example, in the kitchen when you are cooking or baking, etc. And later, with the experiment steps going on, I will describe for them what should be the correct way to perform a scientific experiment, and what's the best way to record your numbers, and then how to analyze your result and draw the conclusion. So in this way, the students will get an impression about how a researcher would do in their daily life, and how you can do your critical thinking during the work. So based on that, I will thank you for your time. Bye-bye.